Uchiha Madara and Hashirama team up for ultimate battlefield domination. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 1, 23rd Century. Blue Star. At this time, human science and technology are advancing by leaps and bounds, but resources are increasingly scarce. Under the destructive exploitation of human beings, resources such as water, animals, and plants, and minerals are on the verge of bottoming out. Extreme weather such as earthquakes, tsunamis, typhoons, heavy rainstorms, and blizzards occur frequently. Relations between countries are extremely tense. World wars are on the horizon. At a ruin in the Dragon Kingdom, a tall, burly man in a black tights and covered with red stacked armor stared at the smoke and grimaced face. Sure enough, no matter what the world's human beings, war cannot be avoided. The so-called nuclear deterrence in this world is actually similar to the deterrence achieved by the tailed beast. Only reunification is the right path to world peace. Suban sighed slightly and continued to walk towards the depths of the ruins of the war. In fact, Suban is a traverser from the 21st century Dragon Kingdom. When he came into this world, he got a system. A character template that blends with the characters of the Naruto world, Uchiha Ban. The system told Suban, as long as you make a play move that matches Uchiha Spot, you can continuously unlock Uchiha Spot's ability. This Uchiha Spot is arguably the most charismatic and controversial character in the world of Naruto. Chakra reincarnation of Indra, the eldest son of the six immortals. Once the strongest of the Uchiha clan, he was known as the legendary ninja. After absorbing the Ten Tails chakra, Uchiha Ban became the Ten Tails pillar force, transforming into a true deity. With a righteous mind in mind, he has always been committed to achieving world peace, but he has chosen the most extreme way. Put everything in the world under your control, let everyone sleep, enter the world dominated by illusion, lose self-awareness, and completely eliminate the struggle. Of course, Suban knew that Uchiha Ban was only being used by others, so he stepped out of this wrong path. So there was no need for him to repeat the mistakes of the past. You only need to play the role of Uchiha Ban's wild and uninhibited personality, with the ideal of saving the world, and destroy the evil people. You can improve the level of playing. At this time, although Suban only had 20% of Uchiha Ban's level of playing, he already had extremely terrifying powers. On this blue star, it is enough to crush other mortals. Of course, under the statement of the system, Suban also knows that his road to playing Uchiha Ban is still very long. Uchiha Spot before he died. After the rebirth of the Dirt, Uchiha Ban, who participated in the Fourth Ninja War. Uchiha Spot with single-eyed reincarnation. Uchiha Spot of the Ten Tails Pillar Force. The peak Uchiha Spot that obtained the power of the Divine Tree. It's a step-by-step process. Although Suban also wanted to quickly unlock the full power of Uchiha Ban, but the conditions did not allow it. In this world, Suban could not meet the Thousand Hands Pillar, who was both an old enemy and a close friend, nor did he have the existence of forces such as tailed beasts. Nor is there any reason for him to wage a world war and create an infinite monthly reading. Therefore, we can only rely on upholding justice, punishing the most evil people, constantly throwing ourselves into the battlefield, and slowly improving the degree of play. Besides, his strength alone is still very small in this world. Suspicion among human beings, the destruction of ecosystems, the crisis of resource depletion are not things that pure force can solve. At this thought, Suban, who was extremely compatible with Uchiha Ban's thoughts, couldn't help but mutter, "What do I have to do to save this desperate world? How long will it take me to kill all the evil people in this world?" Just as Suban frowned and pondered, mutations protrude. A mysterious, quaint, majestic voice has suddenly appeared all over the world. Ding! Attention, all mankind, the national embargo is opened. Among the 211 countries in the world, 4 contestants will be selected to become the representatives of the country and participate in the dispute between all ethnic groups in the national embargo. At the same time, a global live broadcast will be opened so that all mankind can see the contestants' matches. Please keep in mind the following rules. 1. The personal fate of the contestants will be bound to the national fortunes of their own countries, and they will be prosperous and lose. 2. The resources obtained by the participants in the national embargo will be reflected to the bound countries according to the evaluation level. 3. When the contestant dies, he will also be punished according to the evaluation level, and the corresponding punishment will be given to the population, mineral, water, animal, and plant resources of the bound country. 4. There are countless extreme meteorological disasters in the national embargo, as well as mysterious and unknown creatures. Please be careful. 5. Players from all over the country in the national embargo will form a competitive relationship. Please be fully prepared. 6. Countries can launch a barrage to the contestants every week to transmit information, limited to 100 words, with the sound of mysterious sounds. All of humanity was in turmoil. Fear, panic, shock, surprise, swept through everyone's hearts. Then, led by mysterious forces, a live broadcast room and chat group of global humans online at the same time appeared. The crowd was buzzing in the chat group. Did you all hear that? Shouldn't I be crazy? You're not crazy. It seems that this national embargo is real? Oh my god, I don't know who our Dragon Kingdom contestants will be. Counting on a few contestants to save our country? I always feel like it's a bit of a drama. If we can really find resources, then the resource crisis of our dragon country can be well alleviated. And it is still known as the battle of all ethnic groups. Do we still have to compete with other countries? I don't know if this will further trigger the deterioration of relations between countries and trigger a world war in advance. Dragon Kingdom wants to refuel. At this time, the population of the Dragon Kingdom had reached as many as 2.5 billion. Therefore, the lack of resources is much more serious than in the 21st century. If you can win the National Forbidden Land, this will definitely be a charcoal in the snow. Time. The crowd was both expectant and frightened. It is expected that the Dragon Kingdom can change its life against the sky with the help of the national transport embargo. At the same time, it is also worried that the contestants who have been selected will not be able to bear such a heavy responsibility. Mysterious voices still echo around the world. 3, 2, 1. Contestants from all over the world have been selected. Please be prepared. After 5 minutes, you will officially enter the national embargo. As soon as this remark came out, a stone stirred up 1,000 layers of waves. Dragon Country Chat Group. Have the contestants been selected? Who the hell is that? It is estimated that only those who are selected will hear a special prompt, right? Ah. I want to see them soon. Real contestants, hurry up and get ready, bring all the tools you can bring, and prepare to enter the national embargo. Damn. We Dragon Nation civilians do not have thermal weapons, so we are very passive. Yes, foreigners can easily buy thermal weapons, and they can definitely show their skills at this time. I really yearn for their country. This is the inferiority of our country. The Lighthouse Nation is the best. As they talked, there was a lot of noise in the chat group. Don't play with the problem upstairs, take the opportunity to hack our country. When you go to the Lighthouse country, is it cool to see the shooting every day? The most important thing for us now is to believe that our contestants can do their best to complete the great task of improving the national fortunes. In the chat group, the voice of argument is endless. And at this time, a mysterious voice that outsiders could not hear came into Suban's ear. Suban. You have been selected as a contestant in the Dragon Kingdom. Please be prepared. After 5 minutes, you will enter the national embargo. Episode 2. It was said that Suban, one of the parties to this country's embargo, had a fierce glow in his eyes. The chakra air currents on his body suddenly soared, and the momentum was compelling. The original wind-blown hairstyle is now dancing with the wind, and the heroic posture is fully displayed. Oh, I didn't expect me to be a participant in the national embargo? Very good. In this way, I should have the ability to fight strong enemies, fight bloody battles, eliminate demons, and further improve my level of play. Destroy those who destroy peace and create cholera in war. Thinking of this, Suban's face was expressionless, silently waiting for the end of the countdown. I believe that in the forbidden land of national transportation, it will be the time for him to be reborn and save the world. The understanding of Uchiha Ban's experience made Suban understand, in the original Fire Country, only by unifying the ninja realm could true peace be achieved. And now the Dragon Kingdom represented by Suban must also flourish and gain overwhelming strength in order to achieve world peace. This feat only he can accomplish. Now, Suban's eyes are resolute and domineering. Meanwhile, the other side. The same voice appeared in the ears of the two people. Between the columns. You have been selected as a player of the Dragon Kingdom. Please be prepared. After 5 minutes, you will enter the national embargo. Door room. You have been selected as a player of the Dragon Kingdom. Please be prepared. After 5 minutes, you will enter the national embargo. One is a man with silver hair, an iron forehead, blue laminated armor, and a white feather collar on his shoulders. The other is a man with long black hair and a very similar dress to Suban. They couldn't help but mutter, "Is it a national embargo?" It seems that the world will once again set off great turmoil. See what we can do for the Dragon Kingdom. We must do our best to protect our fellow Dragon Country compatriots. Full of justice and patriotism, with an awe-inspiring and inviolable momentum and a firm belief in guarding the national gate, they began to go to the national forbidden land. The other side. In some deserted ruin. White Moon Kuei. You have been selected as a contestant in the Dragon Kingdom. Please be prepared. After 5 minutes, you will enter the battlefield of all races. Boom. Bayuekue, who had just finished exploring the materials, raised a smile of all kinds of styles on his mouth. Nice. This so-called battlefield of all races should allow me to show my skills and find the best way to save this world. Bayuekue looked far away, tall, exquisite. And if you look closely, anyone will be attracted to her beauty. She has fair skin, and a snow and silver hair, heroic and cool, and her scarf does not let her eyebrows be shaved. Bayuekue also hoped to use the battlefield of the 10,000 tribes to realize the ideal in his heart. That's it. With full of expectations, Bayuekue also disappeared and began to go to the national forbidden land. It didn't take long. All mankind heard the following voice: 3, 2, 1. The national transport embargo is officially opened. Each contestant officially enters the national sports embargo. Meanwhile, after the countdown, countless people poured into the major video platforms. This will be the world's first ever live broadcast event. In the live broadcast room of the Dragon Kingdom, countless people began to talk about it. Ah! The exciting time has finally arrived. Pray God bless my Dragon Kingdom. All of them are masters of the world. At least there must be a super soldier king, or a peerless sword immortal, right? As he spoke, more and more discordant barrages appeared. I just want not to stretch too far. After all, there are so many strong people such as the Cherry Blossom Country, the Stick Country, and the Lighthouse Country. And John's Cow Country, Gall Chicken Country, etc., are also much stronger than us. The White Elephant Kingdom, the Monkey Kingdom, and so on, may also be able to rub our Dragon Kingdom on the ground. Upstairs, don't think we can't see your IP territory, you Sakura Country devils say a fart. We can't talk so arbitrarily, maybe he's a traitor to the Dragon Kingdom. It's the more abominable, two devils, huh? We say this to make everyone face up to reality. The Dragon Kingdom has been expanding its population over the years, and the proportion of elites is certainly not as good as the Cherry Blossom Country and the Lighthouse Country on the other side of the ocean. Fart. My lord. Times have changed. Do you really think that when you are a dog slave of a foreigner, you will have a job? For a time, countless people quarreled. Countless people with complex compositions have poured into the Dragon Kingdom live broadcast room, making people grit their teeth in hatred. Therefore, at this time, everyone was looking forward to the representative of the Dragon Kingdom. We must perform well in the national embargo and take a vicious breath. Our Dragon Country is the best country. Now is the time for the Dragon Kingdom to take off. At a time when everyone was looking forward to it, the live broadcast room of the Dragon Kingdom finally began to appear on the screen. The first thing that catches your eye is the Wanzhong ice field. It's frozen here, and it's snowy. It seems that the initial environment of the national embargo was a place of severe cold. As the picture becomes clearer, the selected contestants officially appear in the picture. Moreover, the organizers of the national embargo also began to briefly introduce these participants. The crowd fixed their eyes on it. Suddenly, I dropped my jaw. In the picture, the most eye-catching is a man in red armor, called Suban. He was majestic, and his face was even colder than the cold ice here. After realizing that he had arrived at the Forbidden Land, his closed eyes suddenly opened. Airplanes. The pattern of the eternal kaleidoscope riding wheel eye begins to spin at great speed. The surrounding environment, Suban has a clear view, and all the details can be seen clearly. Now. Suban's brow was always locked. After feeling his own strength, he whispered to himself, huh? This national embargo is really strange, and there seems to be a mysterious law that binds my power. Chakra's operation is no longer very mature. It seems that you can't just use the lethal ninjutsu casually? And in the live broadcast room of the Dragon Kingdom, the crowd quickly began to talk about it. According to the introduction, this person's name is Suban? Appearing in armor? Is this the actor who ran out of Hengdian? How did his hair kill Matt so much? It doesn't look like a normal person at all. Yes. The man had a particularly long hedgehog head, as if he had been smeared with hairspray, and the wind could not blow it. And his hair blocked the right half of his face, and he only had one left eye, which turned out to be scarlet. Is this wearing a beautiful pupil? Cosplays secondary to teenagers? Or a red-eyed patient? And how did he seem to be bitter and vengeful? Too much of a drag, right? Obviously the appearance is so domineering, but the dress is so strange. It is really a very contradictory temperament. We are optimistic, maybe he is a general from ancient times, crossing to this forbidden land of national transport? At this time, the crowd just focused on Suban's strange dress, and couldn't help but spit a few more words. More of a shock and disbelief. After all, Suban really didn't look like a real person. As for Suban's strength, the audience is not very clear. You have to wait and see. Subsequently, everyone looked at the other Dragon Kingdom players next to them. Next to Suban, there was another man who was dressed very similarly to him, all in black tights, with red layered armor, and his name was Pillar. Except for the large scroll on their backs, the two of them were dressed like CP. However, in terms of temperament, the face between the columns appears softer and more humane, not as solemn as Suban. Next to the Pillar, there is also a man with a face full of solemn intentions, whose temperament is comparable to Suban's, and the appearance of the clothing is blue and white, and the name as the title is the door. And the audience all found out, the three people of Suban, Pillar and Pillar, all dressed like ancient generals, are indeed strange. Is it possible that there are still ancient people who can be singled out? And next to Suban, there was another person. A heroic woman with short hair and long legs, incomparably eye-catching, carrying a tang knife. The name is Bayuekue. This is also the contestant who makes the audience shout strange. After the live broadcast began, Suban, the Pillar and the three men began to look at each other's surroundings. And after they looked at each other, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Far better than the previous killing intent, it suddenly exploded and swept across the entire battlefield. Suban, Uzumaki. Intercolumn, title, spot, between the pillars, spotted, by Uekue, Episode 3, bang. Only to see the soles of the three people's feet, energy fluctuations burst out. Snow is splashing everywhere. Bayuekue was slightly stunned, quickly took a few steps back, and looked at his strange teammate with a puzzled face. At the same time, the Dragon Country audience was also frightened. What happened? Avalanche? Shouldn't there be an enemy attack? Won't there be a fierce beast attacking you just after you came to the Forbidden Land? The original audience, who were still desperately complaining about the costumes of Suban, between the pillars and between the doors, was quickly occupied by fear and worry. It's in the picture. The positions of the three people in Suban, between the pillars and between the pillars, have changed. The pillars and the pillars stood together and confronted Suban. The momentum of the two sides suddenly soared, and the war spirit soared into the sky. Killing intent quickly envelopes the entire ice field. Suban didn't expect that in this place, he could even see the pillars and the door. Uchiha Bane is a member of the opposing family. His brother Uzumaki is known as the god of ninjas, and he always has a slight advantage in the battle with Uchiha Bane. The younger brother is the best assistant between the pillars, ruthless, a wise general with both culture and martial arts, and he also has the title of Forbidden Art Master. Suban had thought that they would not appear in this parallel time and space at all. At this time, Suban's mood was very complicated. You must know that Uchiha Bane and Hatsuma, but there is a deep hatred. Therefore, after Suban saw Uzumaki, because of Uchiha Bane's memory, it was inevitable that there would be an irrepressible hatred in his heart. However, this is not the real Naruto world after all, and Uzumaki is still Suban's teammate at this time. Therefore, Suban will not lose his mind and fight with the door. However, after seeing the brother pillar between the doors, Suban's surging war intention in his heart was completely irrepressible. Between the columns. Didn't expect you to show up in this place too. It seems that you are also the chosen son. However, there are two light bulbs next to it. Akira. Bayuekue, who am I? Light bulb. Where am I? Sandwiched between two men. What am I going to do? Follow these inexplicable crazy people to participate in the national embargo. Rao is Bayuekue, who has experienced hundreds of battles and is not alarmed, and he can't help but be confused at this time. And when he heard the words, he immediately shouted coldly, "Spots! You, who are belligerent, even represent the Dragon Kingdom to participate in the national transport embargo. I hope you will not cause trouble. Otherwise, I would never sit idly by." Worried that his brother would be hurt by Suban, he protected the pillar behind him and said to his best friend Suban in a serious manner, "Spots. You have everything coming at me. Don't do anything to my brother." Suban saw his best friend between the pillars, and immediately felt embarrassed about himself, and laughed loudly. "Rest assured. Between the columns. Such a weak person in the door does not deserve to let me shoot at all. Then I will fight you, as you say. Pick it up. Bane and Pillar are the best friends and lifelong enemies. Love and kill each other all your life. This is arguably the most bizarre bondage. They and CP collided together, and the situation was like water and fire. It can be said that Mars hits the Earth. And under the action of the Uchiha Spot template, Suban had long been looking forward to a fierce battle with the pillars. This is the best way to improve the degree of Uchiha Ban's play. As for the fierce beasts of the National Forbidden Land, is this worth Suban's eyes? You can fight with your dream friends and improve your strength. What do you want? Is there anything more important than that? In addition, as a top master, Suban can also feel the chakra flowing in the body between the pillars. Between the pillars of this parallel world, he also seemed to be constrained, unable to reach his peak strength. After all, the spot and the column have been nearly evenly matched in the setting. Therefore, the strength of the pillar at this time is comparable to that of Suban, but it is understandable. The battle between himself and the pillar should still be inseparable. Thus, under the dual role of perceptual and rational thinking, Suban's body shot out violently, and the target pointed directly at the pillar. Between the columns. Let's see how your physical skills are, now. Zhu Jian did not expect that Suban's battle was so boiling, and he would fight with himself as soon as he came up. However, he did not shy away from it, and collided head-on with Suban. Fantastic stay. The elbows of the two sides collided first, making a dull sound. The power possessed by Suban and the pillar is a peak master. Even if it's just a fight against spelling, it's a battle to the top. For a time, punches, kicks, knee bumps, elbow blows, the two sides tried all kinds of means to launch a fierce battle. At its side, he had a serious look on his face. And Bayuekue was still confused. Two men fighting. What are you going to do next to yourself? And at this time, Dragon Kingdom in the real world. After seeing that Suban and Zhu Jian actually fought, the audience was just like Bayuekue, with a confused face and collapsed. What the hell? How did the two of them still fight? I only complained about their dress in the middle too before, and I didn't expect that the behavior was also unbelievable. They seemed to have known each other for a long time, but did they summon a pair of ancient enemies? In addition to the Suban and the pillar also have a vendetta, right? Looking at the way they fight, it seems that they are really quite fierce, and it seems that they are indeed extraordinary. Maybe they are really ancient generals? Even if they are strong, what then? They all started to fight. Shouldn't we in the Dragon Kingdom fight and destroy the whole army? Oh my god. According to the rules of the national embargo, it seems that the death of the player will also reduce the resources of our Dragon Country. That's it. Dragon Country Pills, Episode 4. Soon, people from other countries also heard what the Dragon Country players were doing, and they rushed into the Dragon Country live broadcast room to watch. The deeds of the Dragon Nation people have always attracted the attention of the whole world. The Dragon Kingdom has risen strongly over the years, so it has been jealous and blocked by countless foreigners. Countries like the Lighthouse Nation are naturally very happy to see the scene of the Dragon Nation killing each other. Ha 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 ha, your country's teammates actually fought on their own. It looks like you're taking jujube pills. Do you dare to brag about how united your country is? We in Sakura are the most united countries, ha ha ha, fight. The more intense the fight, the better. At this time, the foreign devils are all watching the hilarity and not too big a deal. The people of Longhua were helpless against this, and could only eat Huang Lian dumbly, and they could not say anything bitter. Are their Dragon Kingdoms so fateful? Even before the game has officially started, it is about to die in the middle? At this time, the national transport embargo was in the middle of the land. Suban and the pillar are still fighting fiercely. The two sides are close to each other, and each move is extremely dangerous. Snowflakes as fast as sharp arrows were constantly stirred up on the snow, hitting the face of the door, making it secretly painful. It also made his brow deeper. Once the battle between Ban and his brother Pillar began, it would not end in a short time. Bayuekue didn't even have the opportunity to interject. She was also analyzing the identities of Suban, the pillar, and the pillar. Red-eyed maniacs. Two fierce cold men. The dress of the ancient generals. Fight as soon as they meet, there seems to be a deep hatred. This kind of label is to make Bayuekue a head too big. What kind of trouble is this combination? Why did he have to bring such a teammate to participate in the battlefield of the 10,000 tribes? Originally, I still wanted to be born and die with my trusted teammates, fight side by side, and kill through the Forbidden Land. It seems that I have thought too much about it. Moreover, when the contestants die, the Dragon Kingdom will also reduce its resources, so you still have to resolve their contradictions. In case a foreign enemy arrives at this time. The more Bayuekue thought about it, the more headache he had. And at this time, Suban and the pillars are still fighting fiercely. Bang! Boom! The fists and feet of the two sides are lightning fast, which makes people dazzle. Under the action of Suban's eternal kaleidoscope riding wheel eye, his dynamic vision and insight ability are extremely outstanding. Every movement between the columns can be seen and responded appropriately. The physical strength between the pillars is strong, the vitality is extremely tenacious, the chakra is unfathomable, and the physical skills are also the peak. One side is the immortal eye, and the other side is the immortal body. If they fight, they will not be able to end it easily without 3 days and 3 nights. After a few moments of fighting, Suban's war spirit was getting more and more boiling. Moreover, he was pleasantly surprised to find a mysterious force flowed out of his body in a steady stream. I even feel like I can fight more and more mentally. And under the guidance of the system, Suban also understands. This should be related to the Uchiha spot template that he fused. Fighting with such a strong person as the pillar is the best way to improve the degree of play, break the shackles of the rules of the national transport embargo, and then enhance the strength. After this battle, it is completely possible to reach the speed of 1,000 miles a day. That way, you'll get more system rewards. Unlock more of the power of Uchiha spot. Compared with the rewards of the system, the rewards of the national embargo are insignificant. Playing, Suban also laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha. Between the columns. It seems that your strength can't reach its peak moment. It's not addictive. At this time, Suban and Uchiha Ban's degree of play itself is only 20%. If the national embargo did not limit the power between the pillars, it was really difficult to say whether the victory or defeat would be difficult to say. I don't know if it is because of the setting of 5 or 5 open between the spots and columns, which greatly weakens the column. Therefore, the combat strength between the pillars at this time was also extremely close to Suban, and it was still unable to reach the realm of the 6 levels and destroy the heavens and the earth. The columns also acknowledge this. Spots. I am now constrained by the mysterious power of this national embargo, and I am indeed unable to exert my full strength. But it's enough to deal with you. I can crush you with my physical strength alone, Suban laughed boldly, between the columns. Don't underestimate me. It is not yet known whether it will win or lose. Without ninjutsu, my eyes are definitely better than yours. Although the pillar also enjoyed the battle with Ban, but fighting, he also said bitterly, Spots. Although I like to fight with you, now is not the time to fight, can't we get along harmoniously? How about playing again in the future? His face was also gloomy as water. That's right. Ban, although I don't want to admit it, but now you should be with us, the players of the Dragon Kingdom, to form a team to explore this country's forbidden land. That's the priority, the intellectual doorway quickly pointed out the point. Bayuekue also finally got the opportunity to speak. Can you say a few words first? Do you know the importance of competition in the national embargo? If we fight, it will only make the relatives and enemies happy. Of course, these truths, why doesn't Suban understand? Suban didn't pay any attention to Bayuekue and Uzumaki at all, and said to the pillars, Oh, between the columns. Haven't seen you for so long, you still have to try your level? Let's warm up and get back to the top soon. And lest your weapons and bones rust. If this is the case, even if you participate in the national transport embargo, you will only try to make people laugh. We only win this battle. The loser must obey the victor's orders in the forbidden land. The pillars also did not accept defeat. Okay. Spot. Just wait and obey my orders. As soon as the words fall, their fight becomes more and more addictive. Bayuekue. Co-authored me in vain, right? Is it necessary to separate them by coercion? However, Bayuekue is not a mediocre person. Seeing the fierce confrontation between Suban and the pillar, Bayuekue could also see that they were all powerful masters. Whether it is speed, strength, or physical fitness, it is not inferior to yourself. Such a battle, it is really difficult for me to intervene in it, so what should you do? At this thought, Bayuekue's eyebrows furrowed, just like Shishiro's illness, which was heart-wrenching. And after that? After a period of fighting. Between the columns also suddenly surprised to find, the more you play, the more comfortable your muscles become. The power can also be controlled more and more skillfully, no longer have the feeling of stagnation when you first arrived at the national embargo. I don't know whether it was because of the gradual reduction of the restrictions of the national embargo rules after the battle, or the reason for fighting with a close friend. It seems that such a battle is also very good for him and Suban. So, to some extent, the battle with Suban is what he is doing at this time. They must return to their peak strength as soon as possible. No one should try to stop them from fighting. Of course, the audience in the outside world cannot know their purpose at this time. The Dragon Kingdom audience will only watch more and more restlessly. That's it. They couldn't stop for a moment and a half, both this and Bayuekue can only watch them fight. Other countries have begun to explore the national embargo. We are still infighting. It seems that their strength is indeed very powerful, and this fight picture can be called a top blockbuster. Yeah, it makes me look so good that I can't leave my eyes. This may be good news, such a powerful skill as Suban and Zhu Jian will definitely be able to show their skills in the national transport embargo. It's good to look good, but if they don't stop, no matter who kills whom, it's terrible. Seeing such a strong strength of Suban and Zhu Jian, which can be called the peak of the world's fighting masters, the Dragon Kingdom audience should have been very happy. But seeing their battle between the two happy enemies, they were all anxious. Episode 5. At the same time as the audience of the Dragon Kingdom secretly cried bitterly. The barrage of discord kept coming. Fight. Keep fighting. We in the Stick Country are happy to see it come true, ha ha ha. Your Dragon Kingdom is definitely going to fail. Look at the people of our Lighthouse Nation, obviously much more reliable. We can all be compared to elite special forces, our Lighthouse state-owned special forces, survival experts, athletes, all of them are elite. You people are very unreliable in the first place, and the relationship is even more intolerable, so it will definitely be finished. There is also a weak woman by Uekue. I am not even too lazy to spit, haha. Foreign devils, get all out of here, don't fall into the well here. As he spoke, there was another clamor in the live room. Subsequently, in order to inquire into the news, countless Dragon Kingdom people also went to the live broadcast room of the Lighthouse Country to take a look. Don't look at it. It's even more desperate to look at. They found that the contestants in the Lighthouse Nation were all tall, with no strange costumes, and they were fully equipped. Pistols, rifles, grenades. Everything. It does look more reliable than their Dragon Kingdom. And most importantly, they are at least united. In addition, even a woman with a weak appearance like Bai Yuekue, compared with Suban and Zhu Jian, was not a slot point at all. Such a cold and beautiful woman, at this time, has become a background board, ignored by everyone. After seeing this scene, the hearts of the Dragon Kingdom people were very discouraged. Can they achieve anything with such a combination of Dragon Kingdom? Stop quickly, don't kill your teammates, thank goodness. Do you also want to use the national embargo to change the fate of the Dragon Kingdom and change the problem of population expansion and resource shortage? What a fantasy. At this time, in the Dragon Kingdom live broadcast room, pessimistic, painful, negative emotions come and go. Moreover, after that, the official personnel also immediately investigated the information of Bai Yuekue, Suban, Pillar, and Uzumaki. It was really bad to find out. The original names of Bai Yuekue, Pillar Akira, and Uzumaki were strange enough, and as a result, they could not even find the origin, nor did they know which place it was. Although Suban has a history, he seems to be an ordinary person. But this costume and appearance are not ordinary at all. Usually, none of these characters are difficult to see. How come there are so many at once today? For this reason, the officials were shocked and confused. And this information spread quickly, making people all over the world pay attention to the Dragon Kingdom. The strange combination of gods and immortals in the Dragon Kingdom was discussed and ridiculed by countless people. You know, the Dragon Kingdom was still a weak country in the past. No other country can allow the Dragon Kingdom to be strong to break their existing order. If only the Dragon Kingdom could die in the middle of this country's embargo. Therefore, the laughter, ridicule, and doubt are endless. This is a clash of faiths before the official engagement. All countries must gain the upper hand in the network position. In the face of the ridicule of these foreign devils, although the dragon people were not angry in their hearts, it was difficult to refute them. Either they will remain silent, or they will unite and fight against each other and fight with them. People in their own homes, if they want to scold themselves, are they going to get these foreign devils to scold? Ahem. At least our Dragon Kingdom players are superb in martial arts and profound in Kung Fu. You definitely don't know the gold content of Dragon Kingdom Kung Fu. They'll be fighting soon. One mountain does not allow two tigers, so they fight, who makes them too strong. When the foreign enemy appears, they will definitely put aside their suspicions and fight against the foreign enemy together. Meantime, watching the national embargoed land thing boiling over, the official personnel of various countries have also begun to enter a state of war readiness. Although they could not figure out the origin of the country's embargo, they had to admit that it was a supernatural force far beyond their imagination. Therefore, the top level of various countries has continuously held meetings to involve experts from all walks of life in discussions. Physicists, astronomers, and biologists, for example, have joined the ranks of analyzing the country's embargo. In this way, we provide support for the players. Meantime, armed forces everywhere are also on alert, ready to respond to what may arise next. For example, before that, they listened to the prompt of the national embargo and said that when a player makes a mistake or dies, the bound country may also be punished accordingly. So you have to plan ahead. In the Dragon Kingdom, in order to do a good job of publicity, the official also quickly set up a live show, the Battle of the Fortunes of the Nation. The purpose is to guide the fishing boats and stabilize the mood and mentality of the audience. As an official program, the Battle of the National Fortunes soon poured into a large audience. The official is finally out of the official live broadcast room? That's great. It's better to kick out the audience who always comes to stir up muddy waters. Maybe, those people are obscure when they look at them, they are all foreign devils and two devils, it is best to let them all get out of the territory. We still want to see a little more positive information, or authoritative analysis. Did any big guy analyze why Suban, between the pillars and between the pillars, and between the doors? The lineup of this host is also quite luxurious, the national host Bing Bing, the famous special soldier Yan Baoshan, the teacher Zhang Zhaozhong of the war situation, and the popular wild survival expert Bai Yi abroad. Just rush this bull beep lineup, I have to see. Before I heard those well-known words, I was going to throw up. While everyone was talking about it, Bing Bing began to speak first. Her sweet and healing smile, unhurried temperament, and solid hosting skills quickly attracted the attention of most of the audience. I believe that everyone is very concerned about this as related to our dragon country, and the future destiny of mankind, the national transport embargo. We are now also on behalf of the official, and we are paying attention to it with everyone. First of all, let's cheer on these contestants. Although their fighting now is still not stopping. But we want to give them full confidence. Know that we are a multi-ethnic country. Our dragon kingdom is not only a country, but also a clan that is integrated. I believe that they can survive the robbery of the brothers, meet each other and laugh and take revenge. When it comes to external issues, they will absolutely put aside their disputes and hate each other. This is the spirit of unity engraved in our bones. Bing Bing's words made all the Dragon Country audience cheer up. Oh, yes. They must not lose faith so quickly. Believe Suban and Pillar, they will soon end the battle. They are so powerful that they must be used against foreign devils. Episode 6. Bing Bing's words did have a level, and as soon as the words fell, they attracted the audience's excited barrage speech. That's right. Our players can't be changed anymore, so we have to support them as much as possible. You must never say anything that discourages you. After all, the four people of Bayou Kuei, Suban, Pillar, and Gate are also the faces of our dragon kingdom. If you can help them as much as you can. The spirit of unity has been precipitated in our history of more than 5,000 years. And no other country has such a long history as we do. It's impossible for them to understand the strength of our dragon kingdom. At this time, Bing Bing also gave the opportunity to speak to other moderators and guests. Distinguished guests, I don't know what you think of the battle between Suban and the Pillars, and their next situation. When will they fight? After hearing Bing Bing's words, Special Soldier Wan Yen said with a straight face, I have to admit that their fighting process is a wonderful fight I have never seen before. The so-called layman looks at the bustle, and the insider looks at the doorway. I'm sure I've never seen such a swift and dizzying fight, even in my special forces. What's more, they are still wearing such inconvenient armor. Next. Zhang Zhaozhong of the War Bureau also pointed out some details, and we can't be too pessimistic, because Suban and Zhu Jian have said that they just want a point to win. It's not like there's an irresolvable hatred. This can be understood as a technical itch between masters, right? Followed by. As an expert in wild survival, Bei also immediately expressed his opinion. I'll give you an opinion on other areas. The biggest problem they need to face now is probably the problem of keeping out the cold. I don't know the exact temperature here, but at least it's below -5 degrees Celsius. Although the armor worn by Suban, between the pillars and between the doors seems to be very heavy, this only has the function of defending the sword, and it is not cold at all. And the black combat suit inside is also very thin. Normal people can't stand the low temperature here. Bei's words are indeed to the point. It also caused a hot discussion again. Yes. There are so many strange moves between the Subans, the pillars, and the doors, and I have forgotten this most important question. Although Bayuekue wears a fluffy dress, what is her bare thighs and high heels? Is this to be graceful without temperature? There are also Suban and Zhu Jian. They don't just have a truce. Before they set off, they directly froze to death. That would be too funny. Oops. Then again, our players seemed to be barehanded, didn't bring much clothes at all, didn't even have much equipment, and that was the end of the fight. Next. Dragon Country audiences discovered more and more details. Yes. Suban, between the pillars and between the doors, this is also too unreliable, right? Is it really like it came from ancient times? They're the ones who went to war, right? Should you bring sticks, knives, food, water, and clothes? Oh, it seems that there is a knife in this doorway, but Suban and the pillar are not armed. And in the picture. As the audience was talking, they suddenly pulled out a strange knife with strange runes painted on it, put it in their hands, and looked at Suban with a tiger's eye. Bayuekue asked solemnly, "I've heard the previous tone, you call it Akima, right? Are you going to shoot? But you killed Suban, which is not a good thing for us and the Dragon Kingdom." Hearing the rumors, the door is non-committal. "If it's urgent, of course I'll do it. But rest assured, I'm certainly not going to kill Spot. Or rather, I wouldn't have been able to do enough." Bayuekue continued to ask cautiously, "What happened between you? Can this hatred be resolved?" With a look of secrecy, he said, "It's hard to put into words. This involves family feuds. I can't say, I can only hope that in the national interest, he can fight with us hand in hand." Bayuekue nodded thoughtfully, and his heart began to think seriously again. Dragon Country Live Room. The crowd overheard the conversation between Bayuekue and the gate and continued to talk about it. This has said so much, or I don't know why they fight, also the national interest. Is there anything in Suban and the Pillar Eyes besides each other? Yes, they looked at each other intently, as if they were lovers of the previous life. I don't want to separate for a moment. It's all a bunch of belligerent lunatics. Next, Uzumaki definitely wants to help his brother Pillar, but killing Suban is definitely not a good thing for the Dragon Kingdom. Suban and the fight between the pillars are so fierce, can he accurately hit Suban? Suban and Zhu Jian are both martial arts masters, so shouldn't Suban and Pillar Jian also be a dark weapon master? More and more question marks are generated from the minds of the audience. The crowd was in a state of mourning at this time. But after desperately complaining, suddenly someone found a blind spot. Slow down. Then again, it's been several minutes, and it seems that the door next to the battle has never thought about the problem of keeping warm. Do you see him afraid of the cold? Yes, Suban and Zhu Jian are fighting, and I can barely explain it, but if I don't move, it should be frostbitten, right? Bayuekue looks delicate and bare-legged, but she doesn't seem to be afraid of the cold. It's incredible for girls. When everyone looked at it, it was true. With a cold as water gaze, Heima looked at Suban and the pillar. There was speechlessness on his face, there was disgust, there was helplessness. But there is no sign of fear or chills. The battle between Suban and the pillar was very fierce, and he just looked at it coldly, exuding a fierce and murderous atmosphere, and did not know what to plan. Bayuekue was just pondering bitterly, and had no feeling for the environment. The more the audience watched, the more confused they became. They began to speculate. Will it be possible? I said maybe. Are players such as Uzumaki really not afraid of the cold? Impossible, right? Although Suban and others do not look like weak people who can't help the wind, they are still far from the muscular men of other countries, right? Even if you can barely tolerate it, at least you have to snort, right? But he didn't seem to be shaking at all. And there's a weak woman, Bayuekue. Could it be that this is the blessing of Dragon Kingdom's luck, and they are really not cold? Or is this place at least 0 degrees above 0 degrees? Everyone was puzzled at this point. Speaking and talking, in order to verify whether the environment of Suban and others is cold, many people have run to watch the live broadcast of survival in other countries. Only to see in the live broadcast room of the Lighthouse Nation. The original location of the Lighthouse Nation players is also the ice field. Kevin Harrison, George Smith, Jack Schwarzenegger, Bryce Armstrong IV, were dressed in heavy clothes and squirming forward. What resources does this ghost place have? Shouldn't the entire national embargo be so cold? God, I brought a thin storm jacket and knew I should get some thicker clothes. Hurry up and get a brown bear, let me shoot him with a gun and peel his skin. Although my clothes are thick enough, it is also very uncomfortable to move my hands and feet. Although their survival equipment is very abundant, their clothes are still quite heavy. But when I first came to this cold place, I was still a little uncomfortable. And in the live broadcast room of Sakura Country, Naoki Kameda and Chiyuki Miyamoto, dressed in thick down jackets or thick storm jackets, walked in the forefront. Yamamoto was just wearing a thin coat and walking behind, still whispering and grinning. 8 Gaga Road. What a hell of a place. I haven't found the resources yet, I guess I can't stand it. When he spoke, his lips were frozen and he couldn't speak clearly. There is also a player, Hidoro Doihara, although he does not wear many clothes, but because he often participates in winter swimming, he has strong cold resistance, so he can barely endure just playing a cold. Miyamoto Chiyuki in front of him said disapprovingly, "Okay, Yamamoto, don't complain, take a few quick steps and it won't be cold." Yamamoto muttered a few words and looked at his teammates in front of him, his eyes full of resentment. If you have been watching the live broadcast of Sakura Kingdom, you will know that Yamamoto Lang was originally fully equipped, and he also wore a heavy sweater and down jacket. However, Chiyuki Miyamoto and Naoki Kamita bullied Yamamoto when they first came. After all, Yamamoto was just a karate black belt man. Chiba Miyamoto is the national champion of the Sakura National Sumo Wrestling Competition. Naoki Kamita is also known as the top kendo master of the Sakura National Kendo Competition. Therefore, according to the rule of the weak and the strong, Yamamoto's equipment was snatched away by the two of them. Hideo Toihara saw the situation, but also schadenfreude, and did not say anything to help. Yamamoto Lang was only promised on the surface, but in his heart he was not angry. If I have the opportunity to convince you, I will let you know how strong I am. See what opportunities one can get in this national embargo. Now, seeing that people in other countries were indeed suffering from severe cold, the Dragon Nation had to affirm, the place is indeed very cold. It seems that there is really no hard resistance between the Su spots, the pillars, and the doors. They are indeed very hardy. Even much better than people in other countries. For a moment, the sound of exclamation was endless. Episode 7, Now. The Dragon Country live room is extremely lively. I didn't expect that. Our Dragon Kingdom players look so unreliable, and they actually have a good physique? I think that Suban, between the pillars may be from the northeast, so it is more resistant to cold. Haha. It seems that there is hope for our Dragon Country? You Dragon Nation players are so unreliable, maybe they are still dying, in fact, they have already frozen like dogs. Dragon Country people are strong? Kill me without believing it. See. Maybe as long as Suban and the pillar stopped, they would freeze and lose consciousness, fall to the ground, and be unconscious. How did this room stay motionless? Still posing with a paralyzed face? I even suspected that he froze into an ice sculpture and fell to the ground when he touched it. This Bayukue is dressed so fashionably. Is there a high-tech warm-up in the clothes? 8 Gaga Road. We Sakura Kingdom Yamamoto Lang can't stand wearing a coat, let alone you Dragon Country these East Asian sick men. So this is definitely fake. Countless foreign players in spirit or nationality have desperately questioned Suban and others. In this way, it will strike at the confidence of the Dragon Kingdom. They absolutely could not believe that the Dragon Kingdom people could be so strong. Even if the facts are placed in front of them, they do not want to believe it. Of course, although the people of Longwa had desperately complained to Suban and others before, they were still very united in resisting foreign insults. Roll. Foreign dogs, get out. Your Yamamoto is the real sick man. Good villain wore a fur coat, but also frozen into a dog, too weak. Women are inferior. Our Dragon Nation people's endurance is strong. Countless mortal bodies, through the snowy mountains and meadows, what is this? As long as we have firm ideals and convictions, we are enough to climb over countless mountains that oppress us. It is only those of you who are not firm in your faith that you cannot believe in everything we can do. The Dragon Nation people have infinitely raised the strength and spirit of their players. The development of our Dragon Kingdom over the years can be called an earth-shattering ghost god. Leave your countries behind. I believe that in this country's embargoed land, it must be the same. You Sakura people are really hypocritical. Just now you said that you are united, and as a result, you also love to fight in the nest. The fight between a Suban and the pillar is just a master move, a battle. You are the bully, afraid of hard, pit teammates. As he spoke, the national pride of the Dragon Nation exploded. Having just been trampled by a foreign devil, there is an opportunity at this time, and of course they cannot let go of the opportunity to exaggerate. The people of Sakura Country were even more red-eyed. It's like being stepped on and hurting your feet. These cherry blossom people all said inwardly, you are not allowed to insult our players like this. Such a bit of cold, Yamamoto Lang can bear it, so he doesn't need to borrow clothes. Just as the so-called weak eat the strong, Yamamoto Lang is inferior to these two teammates in terms of force and other aspects, then his status is low, and it is completely normal to listen to the words of his predecessors. This is the survival law of the smart nation. Sakura people take Yamamoto's treatment for granted. The Dragon Kingdom people seized the opportunity to taunt them in various ways, to avenge their revenge. They are very contemptuous of the culture of Sakura Kuni, who has no reason for the elders to bully the younger generations, and the subordinates obey the superiors. At a time when everyone was talking about it, the National Forbidden Land once again made a majestic voice. National Embargo Tips. Contestants from all over the world have just arrived at the National Forbidden Land, and can get an equipment as an initial item. Different people can choose different equipment. Please make up for each other's strengths and weaknesses, and make the best choice. After hearing these words, the players from all over the world were overjoyed. Especially those small countries that are not prepared, they are looking forward to the equipment of these countries' embargoes. In this way, they can narrow the gap with the developed countries, right? Suban and Zhu Jian, who were fighting, finally stopped fighting temporarily. Spots. Let's pick this so-called prop first. Well, between the columns, give you a chance to take a break, haha. Spots. Don't underestimate me, I didn't sweat a drop. I haven't even taken a breath, I'm not tired at all. Okay, then I'll wait and get the hang of it. They were telling the truth at this point. For Suban and Zhu Jian, who are extremely physically strong, a few minutes of fighting is just a warm-up. Seeing that Suban and Zhu Jian were indeed calm, without the slightest breathless look, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom was indeed amazed. It seems that Suban and Zhu Jian are indeed not ordinary people. It is indeed a strong person with hard skills. As long as they don't fight, it's the perfect combination. Uzumaki watched the battle between Suban and the pillar from the side, and from the initial worry, he became more and more speechless. Big brother, do you need my help? Although it is not suitable for direct killing Spots in this country's embargo, it is okay to defeat it and tie it up so that he will not continue to cause trouble. Hatsuma is very keen to join the battle and help Pillars end the fierce battle as soon as possible. Pillar shook his head. No way. Such a battle, you are not convenient to join. When the Pillars say this, they actually have an ulterior motive in mind. After all, the battle with Ban is a great pleasure for other people. How can outsiders be allowed to intervene? Hearing this, he lowered his face and murmured secretly, what am I worried about? Obviously you are enjoying it, playing a lot. I guess you think of me as a light bulb. This ignorant big brother is really a headache. Okay, if you continue to indulge in fighting and can't extricate yourself, then don't blame me for using some means. He is not a fool. The feelings of Suban and the two people between the pillars are also clear. According to modern people, their battles are full of emotions. After coming to this forbidden land, Uzumaki, like Pillar, was unable to exert his full strength. Therefore, the comparison of strength may still be the same as before, not as good as Suban and the Pillar. But if you fight for your life, the Flying Thunder God technique between the doors, as well as all kinds of forbidden arts, are definitely not wasted. Of course, after all, it is still the next strategy. He has always been a rational person. What he most hoped was to eliminate the end of the war, know the reason, let Suban and Zhu Jian know the importance of the national transport embargo, achieve superficial harmony, and explore the national transport embargo together. They must be made to realize that confronting foreign enemies is the first priority. Thinking of this, the brow of the Thousand Hands frowned even deeper. As for Bayue Kue, he had been speechless watching the battle between Suban and the Pillar. Don't know what to say. Meanwhile, after seeing Suban and Zhu Jian temporarily closed their hands, the Dragon Kingdom audience reluctantly breathed a sigh of relief. They're finally done. Don't fight, you're really going to kill people. We should think of a way to get them to stop fighting. Yes. Once a week, our country has a chance to send a message to them, and we should think about how to dissuade them from fighting. Then we have to figure out why they fight first. How do we know? They seem to have a very tacit understanding. As soon as they met, they were indiscriminate and directly started fighting, as if they had beaten before for an unknown number of times. This brother seems to have a vendetta against Suban between the pillars and the door. Yeah, we can't persuade you at all. How easy is it to stop their years of fighting in just a few words? The Dragon Kingdom people are all too big at this time. They began to speculate about the reason for the hatred between Suban, Pillar, and Uzumaki. Some people speculate that they are fighting for interests, a struggle between different families. Some people say they're for women. Some people say they have a vendetta against their father. But no matter how good it is not easy to resolve. It's Head Starter. Episode 8, and when everyone is talking about it. In the national embargo, players from all over the world began to make equipment selections. For example, in the contestants and live broadcast rooms of Sakura Country, the following prompt sound appears. Yamamoto, you can choose among the following equipment. 1. Regular rifles, plus 10 cartridge bullets. 2. 5 kilograms of bread. 3. Thick down jacket. Yamamoto, who was frozen blue-faced and white lips, did not hesitate to choose a thick down jacket. Hideo Toihara, Naoki Kamita, and Chio Miyamoto chose lighters, machine guns, and maps of parts of the national embargo, respectively. After seeing that Yamamoto had chosen such a useless thick down jacket, Naoki Kamita and Chiyuki Miyamoto were still very dissatisfied. Yamamoto-ro, how did you make your choice so quickly? Why is there so little teamwork? What about freezing for a while? Why don't you ask for a little more weapons and give us the enemy to kill the monster? Yamamoto was angry, but on the surface he still had to kneel and lick Naoki Kamita and Miyamoto Chiyuki. I'm really sorry, senior, I can't stand the cold, you can do it. I will never forget your great kindness. After Naoki Kamita and Chiyuki Miyamoto scolded, they could only choose to give up. Nor did I see Yamamoto's venomous gaze. It's like watching your father kill your enemy. The other side. The same choice also appeared in front of Bayuekue, Suban, Pillar, and Between the Pillars. First of all, Suban. Dragon Country player Suban, you can choose from the following equipment. 1. Desert Eagle, plus 20 cartridge bullets. 2. Weapon Flame Ball Fan and Death Scythe. 3. Thick Down Jacket. As soon as he heard this, Suban's heart immediately moved. Isn't this Flame Ball Fan the exclusive weapon of Uchiha-ban? When Suban came to this world, he also wanted to find a weapon to take advantage of. However, it has not been found. Now it's finally possible. In the battle just now, both Pillar and Suban were competing using physical techniques. It's their tacit understanding. If the winner or loser can be divided at this stage, it shows that there is already a huge gap in the hard power of the two sides. After that, there is no need to continue the ninjutsu contest or whatever. After all, Suban and Pillar between them just wanted to fight to the point. The important thing is to decide the winner or loser, not to fight you to the death. Otherwise, using all of each other's physical strength and chakra, it is inevitable that they will encounter unknown risks such as fierce beasts and foreign enemies. In addition, their chakra and ninjutsu are also under the shackles of the national embargo. It will take a while to fight, slowly adapt to the energy laws of the national transport embargo, and become familiar with the use of chakra in this new space, in order to completely unlock the peak strength. And at this time, Suban, who wants to get god-level equipment, immediately make a choice. I choose the second one. Weapon Flaming Fan and Death Scythe, Airplanes. For more free Falu novels, https://discord.gg/bpy8hmhp. As soon as the words fell, a golden blob of light descended from the sky. It slowly landed on Suban's hand. Meanwhile, a mysterious energy also poured into Suban's body. He felt that his degree of fusion with the Uchiha spot template had instantly increased. Coupled with the improvement he had improved in the previous battle with the Pillar, his level of playing at this time had reached 25%. In a happy mood, Suban began to seriously observe his weapons. This flame cluster fan looks ordinary, just a larger fan. The Death Scythe, on the other hand, looks like a large scythe. But in Suban's eyes, it was nothing less than any divine weapon. This flaming fan is made from part of the chakra sacred tree and has a hard and elastic texture. It is also the spiritual symbol of the Uchiha-ban family. Suban can use it to control the fire escape ninjutsu, while also having an extremely powerful rebound defense. Even a missile-like attack like Tailed Beast Jade can easily bounce back. The Death God Scythe and the Flame Ball Fan attacked and defended one by one, complementing each other, and were important combat weapons for Uchiha-ban. In the process of Uchiha-ban's conquest of the four directions and the battle between the pillars, I don't know how much credit he has made. So choosing these two weapons is definitely the best choice. As for the modern weapons of machine guns and so on, they can't enter Suban's magic eye. After seeing Suban's choice, he laughed heartily. Haha, Spot, you really chose this. Or, wait, let's change the way we fight. Well, let me see what my props will be, but... While the pillars were calm about Suban's actions, the Dragon Kingdom audience was surprised. This Suban actually chose an inexplicable fan and a scythe as his weapon? It's puzzling. Sleeper. With so many good items, Suban's choice of this fan and scythe is outrageous. Although I don't want him to shoot between the pillars with a gun, choosing this Desert Eagle will naturally increase his combat effectiveness significantly. Or choose this down jacket is also a lot. Although he may be fighting for a while and is not afraid of the cold, but what about after that? Yeah, he still needs to keep warm when he sleeps, right? Is he an ancient man, so I really don't know what the use is? Doesn't our Dragon Kingdom have a chance to contact Suban and others once a week? Just use it right away. However, to popularize a bunch of important knowledge to the ancients, the bullet screen within 100 words is really not enough. At this time, everyone was extremely worried about Suban. But it was helpless. The foreign devils also seized the opportunity to mock the Dragon Kingdom players. Haha. I didn't expect that these players of yours are all old antique ancient people. If you have a hot weapon, don't choose it. It seems that your Dragon Kingdom is destined to die. I wonder if I'm frozen and confused, so I chose a fan on this cold day? This big scythe, shouldn't it be trying to harvest crops, haha. Or are you really an ancient farmer? The national embargo gave us these weapons in order to make us deal with the danger of the national embargo, so there will definitely be very terrible things happening next. The Dragon Kingdom audience was also very helpless again. Originally, it could also be said that Suban's various strange actions were bold in his art. But this chosen weapon is so strange, it is really indefensible. Aside from the madman, it's really hard to explain why he did it. In the national embargo. And after that. The sound of the national embargo was also heard between the pillars. Dragon Kingdom player pillar, you can choose from the following equipment. 1. Ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene fiber body armor. 2. 3 kerosene lighters and 30 kilograms of flammable wood. 3. Strength attribute increased by 10%. After hearing this information, the column naturally did not hesitate to choose the third item. Anyway, the front ones sound fancy and should not have much effect. And he doesn't lack these tools either. Or the increase in power attributes is the most practical. It is also a powerful source that cannot be taken away. Airplanes. The selection between the columns has just been completed. A golden glittering ball of light also came to the top of his head and then merged into his body. A feeling of extreme comfort quickly swept through the whole body between the pillars. He felt that his strength had indeed increased significantly. Don't look at it, it's only 10%, but for the extremely terrifying pillar, it is already an extremely huge improvement. Although the increased power was still unable to allow him to open an attack of the level of Senfumu and Jin thousands of hands. But for evenly matched opponents, this can already be an important weight for the balance of victory. Between the columns, I can't help but think about it, haha. When the time comes, you can defeat Ban and make Ban obediently obey his orders. Let Suban be born and die with himself and sweep the battlefield. You can even set the big Buddha, and the two of them can rule the world. Of course, the pillar didn't know that at this time, Suban's strength had also increased rapidly after obtaining the Flame Cluster Fan and the Death God Scythe. The increase in combat power brought about by the increase in Suban's playing level is far greater than the 10% between the pillars. So for the moment, Suban was even more imposing, staring at the pillars compellingly, looking forward to the next battle. However, this information between Suban and the pillar was completely unknown to the other viewers. They just held their heads and covered their faces, very speechless with barrages. Why didn't you choose those useful props between the pillars? Without body armor, if you are attacked by players from other countries, it will be miserable. And they also need to make a fire, right? Why not lighters? Even if it is not cold for a while, when eating or sleeping at night, it will definitely need a flame. Amplifying power is really useful, but it's not strong enough. Before the Dragon Nation, they also watched the live broadcast rooms of other countries. So someone said, a player from a black country who opts for a power boost does find themselves improving. But even 10% is just making him more painful to hit people, and there is no way to change qualitatively. After a sigh, everyone looked helplessly at the door. This room looks very rational. The choices he made should be different, right? Episode 9. In the eyes of the crowd expectantly. Hasama also began to look at the rewards he could choose from. The choices faced by the pillars were similar to those between the pillars, and under the role of weapons and attribute points, he did not hesitate to choose the amplification attribute points. His speed increased by 10%. Hasama was also very satisfied with this. Although the audience is already numb inside, they still can't help but complain. It looks pretty smart, but the choices it's not very good. A 10% increase, not a 50%, is there an increase brought about by powerful weapons? Is it really because of the limitations of the ancient people's thinking? I hope they don't meet foreign players with guns, and they don't encounter some terrible beasts. Shouldn't Bayuekue choose a similar increase? Sure enough, when she got to Bayuekue, she chose to increase her defense by 10% among the options of grenades, water purification devices, and body attribute increases. The Dragon Kingdom audience was numb to the spit. Never mind. Too lazy to complain. These Dragon Kingdom players were not saved. I don't know what generation the players came from. Anyway, compared to the slot points where they are still fighting, the other slots are not worth mentioning. Because, the requirements of the Dragon Kingdom audience are really very simple now. It's heart-wrenchingly simple. That's just to make Suban and the pillar stop fighting. On the screen. After obtaining these increases, Suban and the pillar began to dry up again with excitement. Between the pillars hesitantly said, after I have increased my strength, I am definitely not a presence that you can deal with. Definitely will speed up your defeat. Spot. Stop. I don't want you to lose too much. Suban was dismissive. Who gave you confidence? Between columns. Please, work hard, let me do something real. I wasn't even qualified to use ninjutsu, Pillar retorted, You forced me to use ninjutsu, Suban drank, Pillar, what I'm afraid of is that you are too weak, that's why I don't dare to move. I don't really want to burn you to death either, the voice just dropped. Suban waved a large fan and quickly approached the pillars. Battles began to escalate from fist and foot battles to weapon battles. See Suban using weapons. The pillars also channeled a large sword directly from the large scroll behind them. Ahem. Spot. If I can regain my peak strength, I can get you both hands. Of course, even if you don't recover now, you will never be afraid. Bang. Holding a large sword between the pillars, the battle spirit boiled and Suban began to fight back and forth. Its style is so large that the audience has never seen it before. The large scroll in the back is used directly between the columns to place the weapon, and when it is used, the hands are slapped, and what is coming? You don't need to hold your weapon in your hand all the time. The pillars are filled with triumphal conviction at this time. Only by defeating Suban can we achieve a strong alliance between the two pillar spots. Susa said the great Buddha, two people rule all nations. But at this time, seeing the suddenly conjured up large sword, the audience was dumbfounded. Lying in the grooves, how the bang there is one more big knife. Shouldn't I be dazzled? You're not dazzled, I was dumbfounded. Is there a third hand between this pillar? No wonder he dared to say that Suban could have both hands. Ah. Finished. Originally it was a fist and foot fight, although dangerous, but barely able to withstand it, but now that the weapons are out, it is really a person who will die on the spot if he is not careful. Why do they keep saying how powerful they are at their peak? Are they bragging about the momentum, or are they really not really moving? The audience was secretly suspicious at this time. After that, they began to care about the battle between Suban and the two people between the pillars, who won and who lost. Watching Suban and Zhu Jian fight for such a long time, although I was very helpless to Suban and Zhu Jian in my heart, many people still liked them. Although the pillar was in a passive posture in the attack, it had also been calmly and unhurriedly coping with Suban's attack, with extraordinary temperament and full of style. Domineering quotes such as "I'll let you have both hands" are also endless. If it were not for the safety of the Dragon Kingdom's national fortune, it is estimated that countless people would relish its remarks. The crowd also found out. The feelings between the pillars for Suban are also very good, always trying to persuade Suban bitterly, unlike people who are carried away by the fanatical war will, so that everyone can barely see a little hope. Everyone hoped that he could persuade Suban and temporarily reach harmony with Suban. As for Suban, he has always been the side of the strong attack. In his words and offensives, the word domineering runs through it. Whether it is action, language, temperament or moves, all of them are domineering and majestic. He did not pursue killing, but truly enjoyed fighting. Although the audience does not know the reason for Suban's obsession with fighting with the pillars, there are still many people who are attracted to Suban's personality charm. Therefore, naturally, I also very much hope that Suban can put aside the dispute and fight against foreign enemies with people such as Pillar between the pillars. That will be the great fortune of the Dragon Kingdom. On the screen, a fierce battle of weapons began between Suban and the pillars. Suban wielded the Death God Scythe and swept in an unstoppable manner. Phew! The fierce wind swept out by Suban's Death God Scythe caused snow to fly around him, as if creating a small snowstorm near him. Even a strong person like the pillar, under the cover of Suban's sword wind, also felt that his breathing was stagnant, and there was a faint sense of oppression in his chest. The fiery red armor, the flying black hair, the polished sword light, and the silver snowflakes form an extremely colorful picture. Boom! In the face of Suban's swift sword, the sword between the pillars blocked it. The fire of the Dao Dao, which was firing everywhere, was dazzling on the snow. The clash of their slashing blades made everyone else buzz in their ears. Haha! Between the pillars, you have increased your power by 10%, but that's it. Well, Spot, I didn't expect you to keep your hand just now. I feel like you're a little bit stronger than you were just now. Ahem. Fight with you, not to the best of your ability. Ban, you can really pretend now. Let me see if I, who have increased my strength by 10%, can make you use your full strength. Between the columns. Spotted. Next. Both sides fought more and more fiercely. For a moment, the shadows of the swords and lights on both sides kept flashing. The sonorous sound is endless. Suban had a flame cluster fan in one hand and a death scythe in the other, and the left and right were coordinated, and the moves were extremely exquisite. The large sword between the pillars can be attacked and defended, and the two modes are flexibly switched, and there are also back and forth with Suban. They have the pinnacle of physical skills. In close combat, every move is lightning fast. It's even hard for the audience to see. Even people without eyesight can clearly see that their battles are very dangerous, even more exciting than the movies. Dragon Country Live Room. the audience began to talk about. This fan looks pretty good. It looks like a shield that can't be cut with a sword. After all, it is a reward given by the national embargo, and it can't be too collapsed. Hopefully he's so hard that he can be used as a bulletproof shield. This is used to block the attacks of foreign players. This Death God Scythe, the attack power is indeed okay, making Suban's attack more and more fierce and unstoppable. Talk and talk. More and more people are coming to the live broadcast room. Countless yin and yang strange sounds also appeared one after another. Ha 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 ha. Have you been fighting for so long and haven't stopped? You're still infighting, and we Lighthouse players are starting to explore the Forbidden Land. The Dragon Kingdom audience did not have time to pay attention to these sneering barrages, and watched intently as the battle between the pillars and Suban was pinched for them. Meanwhile, the things that accompanied Suban and the battle between the pillars became more and more famous, and countless people began to talk about it. Many big verses have made in-depth analysis of this, or they have made their own remarks in a hot way. Some historians carefully analyze their clothing, behavior, and weapons to analyze their origins. However, the identities of Suban and Zhu Jian are very mysterious. There is simply no way to accurately derive information about them. In addition, some martial arts experts are still analyzing the battles between them. Basically, they all praise them and think their battles are very exciting. Every move and every style is wonderful. Without decades of kung fu, there is no way to completely master it. Their fighting power in ordinary state, even those top boxers, Muay Thai masters, Kendo masters, Karate masters, and so on, there is no way to compare with this. There was even speculation that Suban and Zhu Jian were from some ancient Wu family, so it was unheard of before. Therefore, it should also be fortunate that people such as Suban and Pillar Jian were selected as Dragon Kingdom players. As long as they don't fight and join hands, they will be able to achieve excellent results in the Forbidden Land. Episode 10. These speakers who praised Suban and the Pillars were all upright Dragon Kingdom people. They have even become fans of Suban and Pillar. Therefore, naturally, I also hope that the players of their dragon country can show their style and gallop to the Forbidden Land of national transportation. At this time, the Dragon Kingdom has always been shrouded in pessimism and negativity. Therefore, people with lofty ideals try to find some points worth encouraging, and say the advantages of Dragon Country players, so as to inspire people. Even if the Dragon Kingdom players have one bright point, they must be exaggerated into 3 points. In fact, this is also very helpless. After all, the Suban and the Pillar fight endlessly. If you don't praise them strong, what else can you boast? Of course, this will also trigger the rebuttal of countless countries, who have come to launch a war of insults. They either can't see the Dragon Kingdom well, or they want the Dragon Kingdom to be left behind by their country. Or it is to collect money to smear the Dragon Country players and attack the self-confidence of ordinary civilians in the Dragon Country. For example, in the barrage area of these videos praising the Dragon Country players, there are many doubtful remarks. You Dragon Country people don't blow, the two players are still fighting each other, so you can only find ways to find these points to blow? My apprentice who has been practicing Taekwondo for only 6 years can easily see through the flaws of your Dragon Kingdom players, not to mention the elite players of our stick country. We karate masters in Sakura country, we can kill all 4 of you with our eyes closed. Don't look at the size of our muscular men in the Lighthouse Nation, we will kill you in a second. After seeing these remarks, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom certainly couldn't watch it anymore. Countless people have made authoritative analyses to demonstrate how powerful Suban and the Pillars are. Definitely the top strong man of their Dragon Country. Foreigners are just envious and jealous, so they come to slander Suban and Zhu Jian. However, Suban and Zhu Jian were only personal private fights, and there was no battle with foreign players or fierce beasts, so there was no contrast. Even if they are analyzed, it is difficult to draw authoritative conclusions about how powerful they are to fully convince the entire audience. For a time, the major comment areas were extremely fierce. And at the same time, a fat man with a vassal style also took out a paper fan and began to comment in his personal live broadcast room in a pretentious manner. Seeing Suban and Zhu Jian fight continuously is really humiliating for the Dragon Kingdom people. In the past, it was said that our country was very united, but I didn't expect to be able to start infighting at such a critical moment. This is the inferiority of our nation. It's a far cry from the stick countrymen and Sakura countrymen next door. As for compared to the Lighthouse country, it is not worth mentioning. After all, this is the short and tight on his own territory, so he can say whatever he wants. Of course, seeing these mentally retarded remarks, the normal audience can't watch it. They have attacked the barrage area of this short and tight video. Good fellow, you stinky public no is in business again. In the previous small essay, when the Dragon Nation people united to overcome difficulties, you people who know it said that this is a group behavior, relying on the group, not as independent as the Lighthouse people. What the Dragon Nation people do together is not right. No wonder I heard that you wanted to participate in the guest group of the official show Battle of the National Fortunes, but you were rejected. Well, you're just entertaining yourself on your own channel. Call on these online platforms to directly block such a well-known as him. Let Suban see such a sinister villain as you, and destroy you with one knife. See so many people abusing him. The short and tight face could not help but change greatly. He really wanted to go on the official program before, but unfortunately, it was unanimously rejected by countless high-level executives and netizens. Therefore, he can only engage in a network program by himself and have a mouth addiction. Seeing these barrages, the short and tight heart was also a heart-wrenching pain. Damn. This session of netizens can't do it. How come there are few people who have been brainwashed by me? Are they all so bad to fool around? But even when he saw these remarks, his face was as thick as a city wall, and he said it very calmly. You really don't have a far-sighted gaze, it's really a rat's eye. The four people of Suban, Zhujian, Wujian, and Baiyu Kuei are also inferior in wisdom to Westerners, and they do not choose such useful weapons, and they also choose such backward weapons. This is the so-called closed country, blind arrogance, and self-imposed. The short man tightened his posture and looked like everyone was drunk on me. He constantly currying favor with the owner of the Lighthouse country, thinking that what he did would make himself happy with the owner of the Lighthouse country. But he didn't know that in the eyes of both the Dragon Nation and the Lighthouse people, he was just a dog that wagged its tail and begged for mercy. Not to mention the crazy short and tight audience in the live broadcast room, even the Lighthouse countrymen themselves did not look up to him very much. He even secretly laughed at the short and tight behind his back, and would only use him as a dog. In the national embargo. After receiving the reward, Suban further fused with the Uchiha spot template, which can be said to be the biggest player in the harvest. Directly increased to 25% of the level of play, making its ability to improve by leaps and bounds. Don't look at this increase sounds small, but it is a qualitative leap. Its speed, strength, physical strength, chakra, mental strength, ninjutsu, pupil strength, and other data, each of which increased by far more than 30%. Benefit. Meantime, the other players have improved their self-confidence, gained a certain degree of self-protection ability, and begun to actively explore the national embargo. Some countries even want to kill the beast to get a huge reward. They are full of ambition, looking forward to doing a big job in the national transport embargo. In the live broadcast room of the White Elephant Kingdom, the four Asan players suddenly encountered an extremely terrifying beast. Classy fierce beast. Raging demon bear. This furious demon bear used the cover of white snow to launch a surprise attack on the White Elephant Country players at close range. The four Asan were very unlucky, although they had guns, but they did not have time to use them. Before they could grasp the method of use, they were scattered by the bear. Ah! Help me! Hurry up and run, Akim. Shoot fast, shoot Nyama's gun, I haven't loaded it yet. Run, my hand was bleeding, and I was almost caught and torn to pieces by him. Use that robot. Fortunately, they have a robot rewarded by the national embargo, and they immediately release it. Although this is an ordinary civilian robot, it does not have much combat effectiveness, but at least it can attract the attention of the berserk demon bear. The furious demon bear turned its target to the hard robot and punched it in the face. Boom. The robot is directly hit by an arm. But this did not affect the function of his other organs, and he was still pestering the furious demon bear. Subsequently, the four Asan players with injuries, followed by the cover of the robot, struggled to get rid of the pursuit of the furious demon bear. See such terrible monsters. Audiences around the world were all exclaiming. Obedient. It was more than 4 meters high. It's much bigger than the bears of our world, his claws seemed to run straight through a person. Is this the beast of the Forbidden Land? It's still just E-class, and after that. Similar incidents keep happening. John's cow country, monkey country, kangaroo country. They were all suffering under the attack of the fierce beasts, and they were overwhelmed. The audience recognized the horror of the national embargo. However, many viewers also understand, killing these beasts should also be rewarded, so there are crises and opportunities. As long as the player has a powerful thermal weapon, he should still take the initiative. Players who do not have powerful weapons should still flee quickly and be safe. Although at this time, there had been no incident of the death of the player, but these information about the beast was soon spread in various countries. Some national executives have even begun to use the once-a-week barrage opportunity to tell these important information to the players of their own countries. Let them never clash with these fierce beasts without being completely sure. And on the other side. At this time, in the Dragon Kingdom live broadcast room, everyone was still feeling a headache for the battle of Suban and others. There's no end to it. Boxing matches haven't been played for so long, have they? I found that after entering the weapon war, Suban's performance seemed to be stronger than before. He's clearly got the upper hand. Sub and cow beep. Hurry up and end the battle, alas. Although Suban and Zhu Jian said that the point was reached, but Suban won, can he stop? I can only pray that Suban will win, so that they can unite as soon as possible and explore the national forbidden land. The Dragon Nation people had no choice but to sigh. Suban and Zhu Jian were addicted to fighting and could not extricate themselves, and no one could dissuade them. As for Bai Yuekue, watching Suban become more and more courageous, there was a strange light flowing in his eyes. The gaze is also increasingly focused on Suban. Looking at Suban's flowing and smooth combat movements, he couldn't help but feel pleasing to the eye and admired. And in the side of the door, seeing his brother begin to fall into the downwind, his brow also wrinkled deeper. The battle between Ban and his brother showed such a powerful advantage for the first time. Do you need a shot yourself? Is it a good thing that Suban won the victory and let the pillars obey him? Can we really put aside the dispute completely? Bai Yuekue and Akima are both thinking of each other.